Hey guys, it's Foxen, back at it again with a brand new video for you guys. Now, before I start, be sure to comment your thoughts about this video and future what if suggestions down in the comment section below. Also, if you want, click the like button, it really helps out the channel. And lastly, don't forget to smash that red subscribe button, really motivates me to go further and create more amazing content for you guys. Now, I hope you enjoy. Peace. As soon as Tsunade heard that voice, she immediately said, "Ah, Orochimaru, it's you. But what exactly do you mean by Private Anbu? You never told us you have your own squad. Minato, do you know about this?" Minato then says, "Yes, I do. It's a special squad created by me and Orochimaru to help him on his missions, on his reconnaissance missions. But, Lord Orochimaru, please explain, what do you mean by taking the boy into your private squad? How will that help us find my daughter?" Orochimaru then says with a grin, "Minato, these two are the best chance we have of finding your daughter. Since, they will be sent on special missions that will help in finding the girl, I will also train them personally." Minato says, "Well, that's all great and all, but what do you mean these two? Are you planning on taking Sasuke as well?" And Orochimaru grinning and says, Yes. I need both the Hyuga and the Uchiha. These two will be essential in finding your daughter. At least that's how I see the situation right now. If my prediction is correct, the Uchiha is the key." Minato then says, "I trust your word, Orochimaru. So, Naruto, Sasuke, what do you say?" Naruto then says, "I think it's a great idea. We need to find Mina as soon as possible, and I think Lord Orochimaru is our best chance at doing that." And then Kakashi put in his little opinion. Says, "Yes, Naruto, I actually agree with Lord Orochimaru. It's a good idea. You'll become stronger, and you'll be able to save Mina. At the same time, I think we'll be doing our own investigations here in the Leaf Village. We'll also cooperate with Lord Orochimaru in finding Mina." And that's when Orochimaru says, "Then let's not waste any time. Come with me, too." And we skip 1 year. Now, both Naruto and Sasuke are 13. Yeah, both 13. And they've had exactly 1 year of training. And what Naruto has achieved is a perfect chakra control. He has mastered all his elements. He fully grasped the lightning and earth. They're extremely strong. He pretty much knows almost every technique, except the clan ones, even some of those as well. He also is very good at wind now, since Orochimaru has wind. And his wood style, though, it's still a big problem. It's still uncontrollable. Every time he uses it, he doesn't black out anymore, but he can't really create any sensible things out of it. He can just create spikes and giant roots, which it's helpful in battle, but it's not really practical at all times. Now, his Kenjutsu really improved a lot. He can run all his 3 chakra natures through the sword. He's extremely good. Imagine Orochimaru level of Kenjutsu. He's super good. Also, his taijutsu is on par with Guy or something. Guy, he could probably be on par with Guy. Man's is overpowered. And his Sharingan, it's improved a lot. He now has a range of 100 kilometers and full 360 degrees. So he's literally a living, walking telescope. And he also has foresight ability, which is called Shiva. I forgot to say that. I just call it, yeah, I call it Shiva. It's like something in, it's like a Hindu god or something, I think. But yeah, it's like literally perfect. He can predict still 2 seconds and only for 1 minute. That's not gonna change, but the way he uses that has become a lot smarter, a lot more efficient, and a lot less chakra draining, even though it's literally impossible to like drain his chakra, but you know, whatever. He's like super strong, super speedy, super agile. His healing powers are insane. Literally, man's is crazy. Like, actually. In terms of strength in general, I would put him at around like Kakashi level, like War Arc Kakashi. Yeah, that's his level. He is very strong, but that's only at base. With like with his dojutsu activated, he can beat up pain with no problem. He can beat that boy up, no sweat. He literally did not break a sweat. Actually, no, that's a bit too early for that. In terms of strength, with the dojutsu, he is equally strong as pain. So if they would fight, they would both die. I'm talking about 6 paths of pain, like that, not just one pain. But just in terms of Sasuke's strength, Sasuke is about like he's a bit stronger here, since you know, it doesn't really make sense that he's stronger because he doesn't have that fuel. He doesn't have that revenge to fuel him to become stronger. But him and Naruto are great friends, and Naruto kind of like, you know, inspires him to be stronger. So that's the reason why he's super strong as well. He's got a 3-tomo Sharingan already, and he is a Genjutsu master actually. He doesn't have the Mangekyo yet, but he's very good at Genjutsu. He got trained by Orochimaru and Itachi with Genjutsu. And that's their strength level. But we cut to a scene where Kabuto enters the training arena and calls Sasuke and Naruto, who are just practicing their techniques. And he says, "Naruto, Sasuke, Lord Orochimaru is calling for you two in his office. Is waiting for you two in his office." Naruto and Sasuke just gather their stuff and go quickly. They come into the office and see Orochimaru. Orochimaru says, "You two, welcome. Sit down, let's have a talk." Naruto and Sasuke sit down and are ready to listen. That's when Orochimaru starts talking. He says, "You two have become incredibly strong. Now, you have far exceeded my expectations. Never would I have imagined that you two would become such great shinobi in such a short amount of time. Now, I think it's time for you to become the Anbu that I was talking about 1 year ago." He gives them these masks, the masks and the uniforms, and says, "What's different about my special Anbu? What separates my Anbu from the regular Konoha Anbu is that our missions are a lot more orientated to stealth, spying, and combat. The missions are more extreme, more grueling, and more time-consuming. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys only do like 10 missions in your whole career. These missions are all extremely important for Konoha. Now, will you two accept this? Will you two become Anbu?" Naruto looks at Sasuke and then nods to Orochimaru. Same with Sasuke. Orochimaru looked at them very pleased and says, "You might be asking, what will our missions look like? As I've already explained, they'll be mostly spying missions. But you're going to have to spy on secret organizations. And some of these secret organizations are closely related to the Akatsuki. Now, you might not know who the other Akatsuki are, but this group of mercenaries is closely related to Mina. If you really want to find her, this is your chance." Naruto and Sasuke both immediately become more serious. They were already super serious, but now they're even more serious. And they nod. Orochimaru then says, "Very well. Your first mission..." Let me see. Yes, I have found the right one. you're gonna have to kill the cultists of Mount Surubo. It has been rumored that they've been killing innocent people, as well as working with the Akatsuki. I want you to gather information from them by becoming cult members for about a week. After that, kill everyone. Gather information on everything you can find, but mostly focus on the Akatsuki and how they're related to a certain Madara Uchiha. And Naruto's like, Lord Orochimaru, you keep talking about these Akatsuki, but how exactly are they related to Mina? Orochimaru then says, that masked man who took Mina from you, he is a member of the Akatsuki. That's what I have gathered from my data. I don't know anything else about him. So now, go on your mission, you two. Now, I'm not going to describe how they infiltrated the cult. They just did super secret spy techniques. But after a week passed, they've gathered all the information they needed, like some plans on taking over nearby settlements, like some briberies, some like officials, some politicians were bribed by them, working with them. But lastly, they found out that the cult has been working with the Akatsuki for quite a while, just closely, just working together, you know. So at one point, Naruto and Sasuke just, decide to with each other that they're gonna like end it all. They're gonna end the cult, and so that's exactly what they do. They just massacre everyone, leaving only one person alive to question him. Lastly, and Naruto shows the man a photo of Mina, and the man, the cultist, says, "I don't know who that is. Please spare me." Naruto then says, "I can tell you're lying. If you lie one more time, your other hand will be gone as well." And that's when he takes his sword and cuts off the man's hand. And then the cultist finally breaks and says, I'll tell you, please don't go any further." Damn, that sounds bad. "But she's a member of the Akatsuki. She goes by the name of Crimson Queen. She's extremely strong, probably one of the most powerful members." Naruto says, so she's a member of the Akatsuki. Crimson Queen. That name does fit her. That's when he takes out another photo of the masked man which Orochimaru gave him and says, "Who is this man?" And the cultist says, "I'm not really sure, but I think he goes by the name of Toby. That's all I know, I swear." Naruto says, "Very good." That's when he just chops the man's head off. Lamau. But yeah, basically they do a few more missions in like a span of like a few months, not a few months, until the end of the training arc in canon. So for 3 more years they keep doing missions, spying on everything, learning information, gathering, just generally doing Anbu stuff. So now they are both 16, like 3 years time skip passed. And so let me describe a bit of Naruto's strength now. Basically, with Dojutsu, Naruto is like a lot stronger than Minato, Pain, Kakashi, Guy. He can literally beat up every single powerful person in Konoha. He can like... actually, let me just say he's Madara level, because he really is. He can body absolutely anyone, everyone. I think he's like a bit stronger than Madara right now with the dojutsu. Without the dojutsu, like at base strength, I'd say he's stronger than Minato, but not Madara level. Like, no, actually on par with Minato. Like, that's base, but with dojutsu, you guys get it. But Sasuke, he's something which will be very important in the future, I promise. But he's a lot stronger than canon because he has he has a Mangekyo Sharingan, which he got in a Genjutsu, which Itachi put him under. And yeah. And his abilities are, one is the Amaterasu, of course, but Amaterasu is iconic. Like, I love it. It's such a nice animation for it. And the second one is an ability that'll come in later. Very important. but it's the ability to break any genjutsu by just looking in a person's eye. It also allows him to enter the mindscape of people, like everything, all that. He could already do that, but now he can do it better, kinda. But it's mostly just breaking genjutsu. Keep that in mind, please. Now, their mission this time is to save the Kazekage Gaara. I know some of you are gonna be in the comments are like, oh, he didn't have the how's it called, the Chunin arc. How would he be freed from his hatred, from his fears? He would never become Kazekage in the state he was in the Chunin arcs. And I have only one thing to say to those people. The power of plot is so strong that Gaara could not withstand it, and so he bent under the power of the almighty plot. And same thing with Orochimaru. Like, you might be wondering, how the hell is Orochimaru working with the Leaf Village? And I'll tell you. The reason is because Minato is alive, and because Minato is alive, Orochimaru stayed a good guy. Because I'm just gonna say that, like, they were best friends, and in canon they were also best friends. Just keep that, just think about that. Like, actually no. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Orochimaru and Minato are like best friends, kind of like maybe more like mentor and student, but like more friends because Minato got trained by Jiraiya, and Jiraiya is irrelevant in this story, because he is. Yes, he is. He really kind of is. I'm sorry for Jiraiya fans. I'm also a Jiraiya fan, but he's irrelevant here. Even though he does the spying things, I don't know his power level. I mean, one thing I can say for sure is that I believe that Jiraiya is the weakest of the Sannin. Like, I don't want to offend anyone. That's the thing. I don't want to offend anyone, but like, I haven't seen his true strength level. Like, okay, versus Pain. Okay, like, come on. Like, I'm sorry. I just wasn't impressed. I just was not. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, he is the weakest of the Sannin. No, Tsunade and Jiraiya are both of the same strength level, and they're both weaker than Orochimaru. Orochimaru is a lot more powerful than two of them. And that's why I thought that to make Naruto even more OP, I should just make Orochimaru a good guy and be more of a spy. Yeah. Plot is very strong, again. But their mission this time is to save Gaara. And it's like the Gaara retrieval arc. Sorry about that. And is my mic on? Yes, I'm sorry about that, guys. So they both get there to the place, to like the cave where everyone was at, and they bust the rock open, and the extraction has already finished. And Naruto sees Sasori, Deidara, and to his surprise, Mina, the Crimson Queen. He looked at her face, and her face expression is exactly like that one in the picture, but like she's not smiling, she's more of like angry all the time, like mad, like silently mad. And so her eyes are like completely devoid of any emotion, completely just empty. And Naruto sees that, and he's like heartbroken. He can't bear to see like his old friend, his like maybe even more than friend, wink wink, but he can't bear to see Mina like that, with no emotions in her eyes. She just looks like an empty doll, like literally. And so Naruto says to Mina, why are you doing this? Come on, please just come back to the village with us. We can talk everything out. And Mina, in a very low and emotionless voice, says, "Stop calling me by that name. Now die, you pest." That is when her eyes turn from very dark pale blue to red slit eyes. Her literally her whole appearance changes. She just becomes like wild, like very, you get it. And she just appears behind Naruto and tries to punch him, but Naruto can see everything, so he just dodges and yeah, okay, time for fight scene. So he dodges, jumps away, and while he's in the air, he does very quick hand signs and says, "Lightning style, thunderclap arrow." The thunderclap arrow goes straight at Mina, but Mina just deflects it with her chakra cloak, kind of. She has a like the boiling thing right now, which is a lot more powerful. It's a lot more powerful than in canon. So I'm just gonna make the Nine Tails a lot more powerful. Actually, the chakra a lot more powerful. So yeah. So Mina is a lot stronger than Naruto in canon. In canon, not here. And so that's when Mina again starts running at Naruto at a super insane speed. But Naruto can, he can sense, he can foresee every single move she's gonna make. So they get in a little taijutsu battle. And Naruto is, of course, winning. And, Naruto is just winning. He's just beating her. He's not beating her up. He's not even hitting her. He just keeps dodging, keeps, sending techniques that should knock her out, but not deal a lot of damage. So, at one point where Sasuke already, is pretty much done with Sasori, but is having a bit of trouble with Deidara. And, Naruto says to Sasuke, do you wanna switch? Do you wanna switch or something? Can you take care of Mina for a few moments? I'm gonna kill that Deidara guy so he doesn't bother us later. And Naruto was about to just straight up stab Deidara through his face, but Deidara turned into a clay clone and exploded. And that's when Sasuke screamed from the other side of the cave, saying that Naruto, the Deidara guy took Mina and they retreated for some reason. Deidara said that they can't do this. He said that they need to go somewhere. And Naruto's like, damn it, we lost her. Shit. No, this is really bad. Okay. Well, let's finish the mission, I guess. And they bring Gaara to Lady Chiyo, and Lady Chiyo sacrifices herself again, and all of that happens, and happy ending, I guess, but not really, because after the mission, Naruto appeared. Naruto and Sasuke came into Orochimaru's office, and Orochimaru says, "So, you two, I want to hear the full report." And Naruto says, "Lord Orochimaru, well, for one, Mina, we found Mina. She says we saw her today." And Orochimaru's like, "Oh, really? What'd she say?" And Naruto says, "That's the thing. She didn't say anything, and I think I might know the reason for that." And Orochimaru's like, "Oh, tell me." Naruto then says, "Using my Sharingan abilities, I have figured out what actually happened to her. It seems that she's under a Genjutsu, an extremely powerful one. Since Sasuke looked into her eyes multiple times, and I know that for a fact, right, Sasuke?" Sasuke then nods and says, "Yes, I've always thought of maybe there's a possibility that it's a Genjutsu, but that technique is super powerful. That Genjutsu that casts on her is too powerful for my eyes to dispel yet, for now." And Orochimaru's like, "But why couldn't you just knock her out, Naruto? I know your strength. You could beat up all of the Akatsuki together and not break a sweat." And Naruto's like, "Well, sir, she was actually surprisingly strong and very fast. I could have knocked her out, but it would have dealt serious damage to her. I could not afford that. So I just kept dodging and trying to just karate chop her, but she was pretty strong for an incomplete cloak." And Orochimaru says, "That's understandable. But I have a bad feeling about what's about to come. And so I want you to become stronger. Here are the signs for the summoning jutsu. I want you to self-summon yourself. Go figure out what your summon is. That's when Naruto just immediately, without even a comment, just did a few hand signs and disappeared. And he appeared in a very deep, dark forest with like very thick trees and like the ones like from Princess Mononoke. If you guys have watched that, it's like that forest. And next to him was a little pond with like a rock in the middle. But Naruto was like, it's pretty empty. No wonder where all the summons are. And so he went looking around, but didn't find anything. And so he came back to the place where he appeared first. And he went to the little pond in the middle and sat down to think about what he's gonna do. And so he's like, maybe I did the wrong hand signs or something. But, no, I couldn't have. I read the scroll perfectly. And that's when, all of a sudden, he hears a very deep and echoey voice. The voice says, "It seems as though you are the chosen one. You might be wondering who I am. I am the spirit of the forest. I am the forest itself. I am the strongest summon of them all. Stronger than toads, stronger than slugs, stronger than snakes, even stronger than dragons. Because, after all, nature is the most powerful thing. I am nature itself. You are very lucky to be the second person in history of humankind, of the shinobi world, to ever summon me, to ever be summoned to my domain." And Naruto's like, and who was the first one? And the spirit says, Hashirama Senju. But he was chosen by me. You, on the other hand, were not. Your wood technique is something horrendous. It is disgusting. It is impure. It is dark. Just like your chakra. It's impossible for me to be here. I cannot stand it. But I'll make an exception. See that you're a person who has a goal, but you can't find inner peace. That is why I'll give you a tip on how to achieve it. You need to let go of everything. You need to accept yourself, and you need to accept the events that happened. Stop blaming yourself for everything, and finally accept that it happened. Now, before I go, I have two things to say to you. One, if you want to get nature sage mode, the sage mode of the force, the strongest form of sage mode, you need to feel the chakra around you, the nature chakra. You need to feel me, and you need to absorb it into you. But be careful. If you absorb too much at a time, you might turn just into wood. And that won't be very well. That won't be very good, will it? And secondly, just so you know, 1 week here equals 1 day in the real world. What an interesting fellow you are indeed, Naruto Hyuga. And that's when the voice then disappears. And Naruto's like, what the hell was that? But that was cool. And so he starts training in sage mode and that. But, at one point he's like, okay, so I need to learn how to control my wood. He said something about inner peace. And Naruto then started meditating, thinking about inner peace, thinking about how he needs to let go of everything. And that's when he appears in a dark room, which then becomes white on the other side. He is standing on the black side, the other room is white. And that's when a darker version of Naruto, all black and with eyes which are red, appears and says, seems that you are me. What a pathetic excuse of a shinobi you are. You couldn't even save your own friend. Actually, you couldn't save the girl you like, the girl you loved. You're a disappointment, Naruto. Accept me. Accept your inner rage. That is the only way you'll be able to save her. And Naruto then says, no. I need to stop blaming myself for what happened. It was not my fault. I couldn't have changed anything. Even if I tried 100 times. It still happened, and I need to accept that. I will bring her back. And without your hatred and without your anger. Thanks for the help. But no thank you. I'm good. Then that's when the dark version of Naruto smiled and says, it seems that you might have some hope left in you. Do us both a favor. Don't fail the second time. And that's when the other version of Naruto just disappeared. And so for the rest of the time, Naruto just kept training and training in Sage Mode. He gets it. It looks like literally like Hashirama's Sage Mode. And now he can fully control his wood now. After he met his other self, he can now control his wood on a near perfect level, just like Hashirama. But he still just prefers to use spikes, you know, because they're just the most battle effective thing. And so he also gains really inner peace and as well as sureness in himself and his actions. So that's a good thing. So after training 3 years in the summoning world, he all of a sudden feels a sudden surge of despair, sadness, hopelessness. And just before I continue, Naruto did not age in this summoning world because he ages proportionally to the real world, just saying. But he feels all those horrible emotions and immediately feels as though he has to leave. And so he thinks to himself, well, thanks, Spirit of the Forest, you actually helped a lot, even though I've never actually met you. Seems as though I'll have to go. And that's when Naruto just reverse summons himself, and he appears right in a giant crater where he last left was the Leaf Village, actually. But this isn't the Leaf Village anymore. This is more of like a ground zero for like a meteor. And in front of him he sees a man with ginger hair, yeah. With ginger hair, and standing facing with his back facing Naruto, and he also sees an injured Minato, and as well as an injured Kakashi who hasn't died yet. And Naruto immediately realizes that what's going on. Literally, the leader of the goddamn Akatsuki is attacking the village. Oh damn! And that's when Naruto just snaps. Like, man, just boom. And Pain was thinking that how he's gonna end the fourth Hokage's life and finally destroy this village. But that's when everybody in the vicinity of like 200 kilometers feels an intense amount of ki, a force which is just too strong for most people to even like stand. So everybody just drops to the ground, but Pain somehow manages to survive, manages somehow to stand, and so he looks back and sees basically an image of the Agni. It's like, if you see on the screen, it's the bottom most left image with like from Solo Leveling. Basically, that's how the Agni ability of Naruto's Sharingan looks. And it's the first time it actually activated. And the way to activate it is through very serious emotions of anger, rage, all of that. And basically, if you read its abilities, it can basically just destroy and disintegrate anything it comes in contact with. And so Naruto just with his eyes lit purple, and he just looked at Pain and pointed his hand at him, and that's when Naruto disappeared and appeared right in front of Pain. That's when he grabbed his face, and the Diva Path disappeared. The Diva Path just disintegrated. Same thing happened with the rest of the bodies of Pain. That's when Naruto looked somewhere into the distance, and he found Nagato and Konan, scared expressions on their face. He immediately just body flickered there, and he actually regains control of himself, and he's like, so Konan and Nagato Uzumaki of the Akatsuki, I want the two of you. I want you, Nagato, using your Rinnegan to revive the people of this village. And Nagato says, why the hell would I ever do that? And then Naruto says, because if you do not, I will kill Konan. And Naruto says, I will not only do that, but you need to hear this. What you are doing is wrong. It will not end the suffering. It will create even more. And Naruto goes into his talk no jutsu, and he manages to convince Nagato that he should really do it. And so Nagato used his technique to revive everyone who died. And he looks at Naruto and says, you save this world. And that's when Naruto pulls out a sword and says, lol, psych, you thought I'd leave you alive? Bye bye, bro. And then he just chops Nagato and Konan's heads off and literally just rips Nagato's eyes out and literally just leaves. Bro, man just leaves, man. He just doesn't care. He has two Renegans. He's good. He's chilly. And Obito, Madara, whatever you want to call him, was watching from the distance. And he's like, oh shit. Like, goddamn, man's like even a bit cold-blooded for me. Like, what? He took those Renegan. Shit. I'm gonna have to get them back, but I can't. He's too strong right now. Shit. And yeah, that happened. Like, my explanations are very bad, but that just happened. And if that was to be animated, it would have been the most badass scene in the history of anime. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Before you go, if you haven't already, don't forget to comment your thoughts and possible video suggestions down in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe.